All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is West May Try to Unleash Global Conflict in Eurasia. Basically, I'm just getting this article real quick because that's exactly what's happening. Now, this was posted December 10th. So it was sometime, I believe, after this was posted December 8th. So what we have is, in the news currently now is that, militia entered into Syria and overthrew the government, and it seems that America and Israel is behind it. And now they're, going over there and they have plans to build a pipeline that kind of runs to the area, and there's questions about the Nord Stream pipeline that was destroyed, and all of that. So basically, all of this leads to basically World War III. And what we are seeing is how these things are unfolding, right? We're seeing how the vassal states of the beast system will hate the horde. Let me get this Revelation 17. Let's see this. Revelations to the point, Revelation 17 and 16. Now, this is talking about Babylon the Great and the vassal states of Babylon the Great, right? Which is America. It says, Revelation 17 and 16, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the horde. So the individuals aligned to Babylon the Great will hate the horde, which is they're going to hate Babylon. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So during World War III, once they get nuclear, they're going to shoot nuclear missiles over to Babylon the Great. And, like I said, we're seeing how that's unfolding. Like, what's making it happen. Even here, let me show you. Daniel 8. Because now we have the understanding. So, show you this probably at the end. So I'll get to the point. This is Daniel 8 and 26. It says, so Daniel got the vision, right, of the four beasts that should rule, right, and Babylon being that last one. Right after the Roman Empire, basically. It says Daniel 7 and 7, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. See, those 10 horns go into the vassal states that was aligned to it. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now this is going into America, and the 3 horns that was plucked up by the roots was the Spanish, the French, and the British. Right? Yeah, the Spanish, the French, and the British. And basically America came out of the British, right? Because it got its independence, right? It came over here, founded the land of America and all of that. So I'll read this again, Daniel 7 and 7. After this I saw in the night vision, then I'll get to the point. After this I saw in the night, so this is America. It says, Daniel 7 and 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast. So this is the fourth beast, the last beast to rule in the world. Let me see. We grab Daniel 2 real quick. So see, it's breaking it down here. So the last kingdom would be Rome. It says, Daniel 2 and 40, in the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall they break in pieces and bruise. Right. So that's the point. This is that beast. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. So it will have the strength of the military, of course, but at the same time it'll be weak. It says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Right. So they're strong military wise, but pushing forward towards this new world order, they're weak in their policies and how they're choosing who to rule and things like that. It says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay, right? And that's why the nations are divided, and that shameful spewing is put on their glory. And I'll read this in the NLT. It says, this is Daniel 2 and 43, this mixture of iron and clay also shows that these kingdoms will try to strengthen themselves by forming alliances with each other through intermarriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron and clay do not mix. Right, and that's going into even Daniel 8 and 25, where I was just at. I'll get it, hold on. Yeah, so Daniel 8 and 25. No, let me see. One second, I'll grab that. This is Psalms 55 and 20. Sorry about that. All right, let me just grab that and get back to what I was talking about. Psalm 55 and 20. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. So that's the point of them having these, basically trying to come together. Right here, Daniel 2 and 43, he hath broken the covenant. It says here, Daniel 2 and 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. NLT, let's get it. It says the mixture of iron and clay also shows that these kingdoms will try to strengthen themselves by forming alliances with each other through intermarriage, but they will not hold together, just as iron and clay do not mix. And a big person of that, or at least I see, is China in America, right? They usually marry, and now they're having problems over there with Taiwan, which is something new. You have China now doing their war games pretty close to Taiwan, over there in the Taiwan Strait, which is, basically that body of water over there. And basically America's back in Taiwan, and China is saying that, Taiwan belongs to us. And America's like, yeah, we agree with you, but we're going to send them all the missiles to defend themselves in case they do want to, go to war with you and separate or something like that, So that's pretty much what happened. It's a lot happening. So, that's the point of all of that. This basically, I pointed out that this was Babylon. So back over here to the fourth beast, which I explained, Daniel 7 and 7. It says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Right, so it's because it was diverse because it had a senate, like America has a senate now. Even your boy Elon Musk said America is the new Rome, which is true because the deadly wound was healed, right, and Rome was rebirthed in the Renaissance period, right, and that is America. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Now, once again, the French, the Spanish, and the British, right, and is going into those revolutionary wars, right, basically to separate itself from them. It says, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. And that's Esau, Edom, going to 2 Thessalonians 2, right, that wicked man of sin being revealed. And also that's happening, and it's been happening, and shameful spewing is on his glory. So going over here now. It says, let me see what I want to get. So yeah, going back to explaining what I was explaining, we have that incident over there in Syria, and it seems that America and Israel is behind it, right? And basically, that's just that shameful spewing on their glory, because now the nations are seeing that America doesn't really care. They're going to do what they're doing, as in cut people off to pursue their own goals. That's going back to that Nord Stream pipeline that they broke, which the truth on that is coming out, and these people that suffered because of it are seeing now, along with the sanctions and everything put on Russia, they're seeing that America had its own goals to pursue, right? And even Turkey at one point was upset with them, and Turkey most likely still is upset, but Turkey has a part in this Syria conflict, because this pipeline that's supposed to be built over there is going to be through Turkey also. So Turkey will be, getting some profit from it. So therefore, that's why they're helping attack, So anyway, I'll read this first. This is posted December 8th. It says B-52s, F-15s, and A-10s conduct massive anti-ISIS airstrike in Syria after the fall of Assad. So basically, right when the ceasefire of Lebanon stopped and the rebels entered into Syria and overthrew the government, Israel went in, America went in. They went in like it was planned already, right? Which my last video, I went into that, I believe, So I've been watching the brothers and, following the videos and things like that. You're pretty much up. If you're watching the news, right, this is like the elder Pastor Hart says all the time, if you miss one day, you miss a lot. So if you're following along and you're just watching the videos and you're up to speed, so when I talk or anybody talk, it's like we was just talking the whole time pretty much, right? B-52s, F-15s, and A-10s conduct massive anti-ISIS airstrike in Syria after the fall of Assad. It says the U.S. military conducted a punishing series of airstrikes against the Islamic State group on December 8th, following the sudden demise of the regime of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. It says U.S. Air Force B-52 Stratofortress bombers and F-15E Strike Eagles and A-10 Thunderbolts 2 attack aircraft conducted dozens of airstrikes against Islamic State leaders, fighters, and camps in central Syria. So U.S. Central Command announced, it says the aircraft dropped about 140 munitions on more than 75 targets belonging to the militant group, a senior administration official told reporters. And ultimately, just like the world is watching, we'll see what the outcome of this is. And more than likely, what's going to happen is they're going to set up their own puppet leader, and go ahead and, build their pipeline, and business as usual. So pretty much that's what's happening. So, there's a quick update, and I'll grab this. It says Russian SVR West may try to unleash global conflict in Eurasia. And, if you're watching, you're watching Russia. Russia is going to be the main captain or chief to, gather the troops, the other nations to come against Babylon the Great. And it seems like they already know this, right? They seem like they're watching and they're preparing. They're doing things. I'm seeing things like, prisoners being exchanged. I'm seeing things like bunkers being built, for citizens, for nuclear war. So it seems like Russia is preparing for this, but at the same time, they're, voicing their opinion about the things that Babylon the Great is doing, and that's also going to that shameful spewing that the world can see, right? How America is moving as they, proceed to try to gain world dominance, right? It says the West is ready to go to great lengths to maintain its dominance. It may try to provoke a global conflict with its epic center in Eurasia. Russian Foreign Intelligence Service Director Sergei Naryshkin said in the interview with the Ravachik magazine, TASS Learn. Let me read that again. It says the West is ready to go to great lengths to maintain its dominance. It may try to provoke a global conflict with its epic center in Eurasia. So basically, they're saying America is willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. It says one of the possible scenarios of the developments of events in the medium term is a potential Western attempt to provoke a global armed conflict with an epicenter in Eurasia. This is a proven way for world capital to get out of a crisis, he said. So I don't know when he said this is a proven way for world capital, as in America would be that capital to get out of a crisis, him believing that America is in a crisis. It says at the same time, the SVR chief pointed out that it is not only Washington and London that share common values. New, no less sustainable groups of countries have emerged in the world. Other, more responsible players who, if united, are capable of countering Anglo-Saxon influence and solving all problems on their own without escalating the global situation into World War III. Narishkin explained. So even he is talking about World War III. World War III talks are all over the world because that's where we are heading. We're heading to the end, right? The end is manifest. I got that. I don't know how I did that. All right. It says the global prestige of Washington is steadily declining, right? So this is that shameful spewing in the fall of Babylon the Great. It says the global prestige of Washington is steadily declining, and I'm pointing this out because the nations are seeing this, right? The nations is watching, right? Voices and opinions are being stated. It says the global prestige of Washington is steadily declining. Even the Americans' closest allies are turning away from the White House. I just got that in Revelation 17, right? The NATO vassal state shall hate the whore. It says the global prestige of Washington is steadily declining. Even Americans' closest allies are turning away from the White House, the SVR chief said. You wouldn't believe how many U.S. partners from Asian, African, and Latin American countries have urged us in direct contacts not to stop halfway in the Ukraine conflict, he added. So basically, these weaker nations don't really have a voice because they're still currently tied to Babylon the Great. But, through different alliances, one in particular being BRICS and things like that, these different people are able to talk, and express their concerns. So this is another, way that we're seeing that these individuals are starting to hate the horde. And even, they see it pretty much. It says the United States and Europe are facing a dramatic period of eternal strife amid the decline of their power. And that is going into what I read over there in Daniel. In Daniel 2, let me grab it again. So we got the fourth beast, which is basically Babylon, right? The Roman Empire rebirth through the Renaissance period. It says the divine kingdom. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not it. But the scriptures say a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand, right? And that's pretty much is what's happening. But even this part right here, weak, because this is the beast system, going to Revelations 17 that I read. So I read this again, Daniel 2 and 42, it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And that's the point, right? They're divided, right? A kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. So, that's the point over there. It says the United States and Europe are facing a dramatic period of internal strife amid the decline of their power. American and Europeans are still far from returning to their identity. It says they are likely to face a challenging and dramatic period of internal strife, which is that, infightings between themselves, right, as they try to push forward towards this new world order, right? That's why you have them upset about what Donald Trump is doing, what Israel is doing, how they're conducting themselves. It says they are likely to face a challenging and dramatic period of internal strife. Later, they will, as always, blame Moscow for everything. The West finds it rather hard to recognize that its power has waned, the Russian intelligence chief said, speaking about the role of Western countries in a future world order, right? So there is a world order been talking about, a new world order, going into Revelation chapter 13, that MOTB being issued, the world going digital, right? The fourth industrial revolution, It says humanity is facing a large number of formidable common challenges. Like, so moving to, that's why they have that 2030 pact, for peace, because the world itself is facing challenges, common challenges. It says like pandemics, climate change, which leads to global migration as well as the uncontrolled development of artificial intelligent technologies. Right, even the artificial technology is being backfired on them. Just as the internet has backfired on them, because the chat GBTs and everything are telling the truth of who the Israelites are and what's coming. Right, the destruction to the world. It has all of that until they go in there and change it and just block that part out. That's why it says which leads to global migration as well as the uncontrolled development of artificial intelligence technologies. It says major regional and world powers need to join forces and find ways to respond to these threats. Sergey said. It says the U.S. and Europe, with their entrepreneurial spirit and capacity to innovate, can and should play an active part in these processes, have a worthy place. So you can see that these people, America, it seems that Russia is trying to be okay with them, but they are, still pushing them away. And that goes into that Psalms 55, and I'll grab it one more time. It says Psalm 55 and 20, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, he hath broken his covenant. And that's the point. We're just, that shameful spewing. Nahum 3 and 1 says, woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. It says the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses, they stumble upon their corpses. Right, complete and utter destruction is coming to Babylon the Great, and we're in that time. It says, because of the multitudes of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, that set up nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Right, and that's exactly what's happening. Something to take place right now is Syria. Right, I read this, right? Yeah, I read this. It says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Wasmi, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Right, and that's basically exactly what's happening. So, Lord willing, you were edified from this lesson. I'll say shalom to those who elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.